Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our live video podcast. It's your weekly dose of coffee, dogs, and curiosities. I'm your host, Chris Perandi, the stunt dog guy. Today, we're going to drink a little coffee, watch a live performance with my good friend and co-author and best-selling author, Larry K., and his dog, Spider. We're going to learn how to teach your dog how to roll a big blue ball. Then we're going to chat about today's curiosity, which is how do dog tricks save lives? Now, if you're watching with us right now, please let us know you're here and where you're watching us from. We do, of course, love to engage our audience, our friends, and our biggest fans. Today, I'm drinking a little coffee featuring my Star Wars mug. As you know, yesterday was Star Wars Day, and I hope May the 4th was with you. Now, we're going to head to Southern California and meet up with best-selling author Larry K. Hey, Larry, what's going on? Say hi to everyone.
It's great to see you. You know, since it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, it is, actually.
I might have some tequila today. But, yeah, it's a little early for day drinking.
Well, I don't know. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Larry.
That's right.
I didn't tell you exactly what was in this coffee mug. No.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Cinco de Mayo.
Mugs here. This one was given to me by my girlfriend, Jen.
I love it. Live, love, bark. That's awesome. Yes.
Spider, I don't think that's water.
Good tequila, huh?
Now, this one, Chris, this was given to me when our book won that award back to the Dog Writers Association of America Awards.
That's awesome. But Larry, where's mine? I never got a cup.
What was that?
Where's my cup?
Where's your cup? That's right. I'll split the baby for you.
Oh, there you go. I want the handle. Give me the handle. Well, great to have you here with us today, Larry. I see you got your big star with you. He's pretty excited to be on the channel today. Talking all about it.
Give you a free dog here.
Yeah, tell me about Spider.
Oh, Spider, come here. Come on up here. Up. So he named my video podcast Dog Hugs. He just loves doing this trick. And we go live from the laundry room here.
Yes.
It's his favorite room in the house. He just fell off the platform. See you, Spider. Come on back up, bud.
Yeah, and I've been on your show now a few times.
Yes.
A regular guest, and it's been a lot of fun. In fact, it really inspired me to do this podcast. I didn't start this one up until after I was on yours a couple times. So thank you for that. Well, and keep up the great work on yours.
As a matter of fact, you've even made a challenge to Spider and me to complete the Stunt Dog Challenge.
Right. The Stunt Dog race.
Stunt Dog race, excuse me. So we did the weave poles, the jumping through the hoop of fire.
Right.
Going through the
tunnel
with a double bend in it.
The double bend, yep.
Over the bar jump, around the barrel, back over the bar jump, back into the tunnel. But instead of the disc throwing, we had Spider do one of his favorite tricks, and that's getting on the big blue ball and rolling across the field. And
we're gonna go over that here today.
Okay,
in just a minute, but give me a little more. Let the audience know, like, where did you find Spider? I mean, how long have you had him? How old is he now?
Actually, let's flip around. So the reason the laundry room or the laundry lounge, now that we've got a curtain up here, is Spider's favorite room in the house. Is because it's also the studio where we get to perform dog tricks. Come on up here.
Awesome. And the training room as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's really his favorite room in the house. So as you know, I make videos with shelter dogs, which helps them get adopted. I believe that inside of every shelter dog is an undiscovered movie star. So to find those diamonds in the rough, we make videos.
That's awesome. So you found Spider when you were working with some of those dogs, right?
We were making this 4th of July film, and on this particular day, the shelter brought out 12 dogs. Well, one of these 12 dogs was like so rough, you could barely touch him. This Australian cattle dog.
Yeah.
And sounded like he'd walk straight out of the Mad Max movies.
Right.
And they had given this dog the perfect name, Spider.
And you kept it. You kept the name.
Oh my God!
Did you like the name at first?
I think to fit him.
Yeah.
He looks like the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's like so ready. I love the play bout. It's on
Yeah.
one. It looks so submissive, going low to the ground like that. But
Right.
it's a ready cue. Come here, buddy.
He does good with it.
Lie down, right on the job.
What's that?
He's just gonna lie down on
the. So Spider's almost 7 years old, and you adopted him where?
Pet Orphans of Southern California, here in Los Angeles, in Van Nuys.
Gotcha. And I got that link up on the screen right now, petorphans.org. If you want to check it out, if you're looking for a dog, they're a great great resource.
Today being Giving Tuesday, I'm making a special donation to Pet Orphans in Spider's honor today.
Awesome.
Tough being the dog.
Oh, he's excited today.
Oh, he is so ready, man. He loves working with you, Chris.
Yeah, he does. He's a good boy. I love cattle dogs. I really bond with them, and I guess you could say connect with them. My first dog, as you know, was a cattle dog, Pepper, the one that changed my life. And Spider reminds me a lot of his looks. Pepper had a little more black and white, but just his face and just his size, very, very similar.
Right. Well, so Chris, you challenged us to do the disc challenge, and I want to show you how far we are.
He's looking at something behind your back, Larry. He's barking at something behind your back.
Back here.
Yeah. That's what he wants.
Here's where we're at. I mean, he loves to jump and catch it. He's a good jumper. You know what? You want to go again? Oh, he's looking. You want to do a trade? He just wants a treat. It's like, right. Take another one.
So let me recap what the challenge was. I actually challenged Larry a few weeks ago now to get Spider to do a stunt dog race that we do in our show, which basically incorporates agility and frisbee. And you got the agility down. He was going through the weaves like a madman, jumping through the hoop of fire, through the double bend tunnel, over the jumps, and then back down. And then you finished it with the roll of the big ball. Now, which was creative and was cool, and it's because
I got disqualified.
Yeah, well, the race you have to catch the disc. So, and you've been working on that. And that's the challenge. So the challenge is for Larry to get Spider to do the whole race, so he could possibly star in one of our live shows once we're out of this hiatus and pandemic, right? And he's got the energy for it for sure. I can see him shine. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
You're getting there. So today you're gonna do some tricks with Spider. Does he have some tricks or a few things that we could show off of what he does know?
Yeah, that sounds really great. So when I teach tricks to homeless dogs, to shelter dogs, I love combining obedience training with temperament testing and trick training all at the same time. And what I've found is I can focus on 4 fundamental building blocks to teach dog tricks. Come on, Spider. So Spider's doing that first building block right now, getting on the platform with all 4 paws. Come on down here. Yeah, you don't need to bark, Spider, but come on up here. Paws up. Up. There you go. So now he's doing the second trick, which is 2 paws on a platform. And then the third trick of the 4 is touching a target with 1 paw. That's right, buddy. So we've got 1 paw, 2 paws, all paws. So that's 3 of our tricks. And then a 4th trick is the real fundamental of simply luring.
Gotcha.
These aren't dog cookies. This is high quality dog food. Every day I measure out a portion of Spider's food. Mm-hmm. And we're doing some trick training, really stuff with this. And this is what I do with shelter dogs to help them get adopted, to bring out that dog's inner movie star.
Awesome. Great.
Do some basic acclimation stuff with the homeless dogs, see if they'll be comfortable being around my feet. I can drop treats around me. And then little by little, shape this into a little figure 8. And then now I can begin to lure. Very good, Spider. Come on. And now I'm using an air cookie, which means I have no treats. Come here. But I pretend I have one. And
That's great, Larry. That's great. Doing some good luring right there.
Basic stuff right there. Then eventually I can lure onto the platform. We don't start with a high platform, of course. We'll start with the platform right on the floor, right on the ground, and luring. And then little by little, we'll build up some height, if that's appropriate for the dog, and build up some distance, meaning sending a dog to platform. Sending a dog away from you in trick training is harder than bringing a dog towards you, generally.
Of course, it's not as natural. Dogs want to come to you,
Exactly.
and going to a mark or it takes a little more time in training.
Yeah. So we do that, and then getting on a platform, and then from there I can then shape that into getting on a platform with just 2 paws, calling that a perch.
Yeah.
And from doing that with a really large platform, I can go to a smaller. This is just a dog bowl. It's a rubber dog bowl, so with a non-skid surface there. And so let's go on it. So using the same techniques, start with luring. Eventually an air cookie.
Do you got him turning on it yet, or have you started to work on that? Give him like to rotate around it. I've seen a lot of trainers do that.
You mentioned that, Chris, because these turns are really important into developing that into trick and to develop the dog's back end awareness.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's looking good.
Forth, back and forth, and doing the air cookie thing, rewarding with the other hand. Eventually that becomes a hand signal. Notice I'm backing away a little bit to increase distance. And eventually that becomes a hand signal. And notice I'm even shortening my motions.
Yep.
So then I go from
fading out that lure.
From big dog bowl to smaller and smaller dog bowls. So we're going to go with this real small dog bowl. Come on, let's see it. We've never done this before. Getting on a perch right on a platform. Let's see if he'll do it. Perch. Okay, that's not bad.
Not bad.
First time doing that. I love experimenting with new tricks. And if a dog doesn't do the trick right, just move on to something else. That's the advantage of knowing one trick and then 2 tricks and then adding a 3rd trick. And before you know it, you've got a whole basket of tricks.
Right.
So I think we'll be able to see this from this distance. Let's see if we can see this right over here. Spider, come on up.
Well, if you put it up on the other side, Larry, your name is blocking it actually. Okay. Yeah, there you go, like over there, and then closer to the green screen. Pull it back a little. Can you? Because you can't see it. There you go. You can see it now.
So maybe you can see it over here.
Yeah, you can see it there. Really good. Yep.
Oh, and Spider has gotten in the bowl with all 4 feet. So if you think about it,
these are fun exercises to really challenge your dog and keep them active. And
exactly. Go. So if you think about it, turning this bowl upside down so he's got to get in the bowl, that's actually a really small platform.
Right. Yeah, that's a challenge.
That is, you start with a bigger box.
Right.
And little by little, a smaller and smaller box, and so forth. And eventually he'll get all 4 paws in a small bowl. And that's great for building up the core muscles. It takes core strength to do that.
That's great.
And eventually that's going to become a foot stall, Chris.
Yes. Looking forward to seeing that. What's the next thing you're working on teaching Spider right now, or a couple things that you have on the list?
The main thing I'm working on right now is being quiet on camera.
Yeah.
So I think
he's gotten a little show smart.
You got that, brother. Yeah, he certainly does love this trick here. So actually, what I'm working on is a routine of tricks. I've just given into the fact that Spider's going to be naughty.
Yeah,
he has a new nickname, Spider the Naughty Trick Dog.
Yeah.
So I'm working on tricks like steal stuff from me. He's gonna bark. Hopefully on cue, right? Stuff like that I can play with being naughty.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
That's
You got to work with each dog's personality and what they're, what they enjoy doing. I mean, really, that's what we do in our show. We try to find things that they really enjoy and give them that opportunity to show off those skills, in front of a live audience, because they're really, at the end of the day, just playing and having fun.
Oh, you make such a good point. And play is so important. It's like, dogs play naturally. And I think that's one of the reasons that, we've become accustomed to each other before the dawn of civilization. You can say the dogs reinvented themselves, because they were wild wolves and feral canines before they started scouting us for food.
Gotcha.
Decided they were worthy of their domestication and might even be fun to play with.
Absolutely. Now, check it out, guys. In every podcast, we, of course, like to encourage everyone to spend more time with their pets and teach them something new. It really helps prevent those unwanted behaviors and increases the bond that you have with them. So today we're going to show you how to get your dog to push and roll a big ball. And Larry actually sent in a video to demonstrate that live. Well, not live, but to demonstrate that on our live podcast, of course. But we also go over it in our book, The Big Book of Tricks for the Best Dog Ever, that Larry and I have authored together, and it's on page 198, 199. If you have our book, it goes over that. But we're going to show you how to do it in a video today. And Larry, you sent in a great video. I'm excited to show it, and I think I'm going to share it right now.
Right on.
Here we go.
Wow, very good. Boy. So we start, come on over here, getting onto the, and we treat this just like a perch with just a little bit of air in it. And we're luring, getting him acclimated to it. Then little by little, we'll fill more air. Start to move it. Up. Good job. And then eventually we fill up the ball all the way. Come on, Spider. Good job. We don't start rolling yet. So we're just acclimating him onto it. Now I'm going to lure him forward because I'm still holding on to the ball. And little by little I can stand up and start to move. Start to move. Now, create some distance. We use our pivot trick. Okay. Good job, buddy. Yep, get on it. And then come all the way over here. Attaboy. Good job, buddy. Very good. Pivot.
Now he's just showing off.
Good job. Yeah. And come back. Good job. Really well done, Spike. That was fantastic. Good job.
Boy. Come on, Spider.
Awesome. Well, that was great, Larry. Thanks for sending that in, and that gives you an idea of how to get your dog to roll a ball. He does it so well. You could tell he's having fun. He enjoys doing it. I mean, I've been to your house and I've seen him just give the behavior. When he sees the ball, he's ready to go, man.
It's truly a handful of his favorite tricks, that's right up in there in the very, very top. He will just offer that. And, if I had a big ball just lying around the house, he'd probably start rolling around the house.
Yeah, he probably would. I believe it. He's
Speaking of big balls, I've got a little ball. This is filled with treats here. We call this the treat ball. And our cue is, since this comes apart in two halves, our cue is I go like this, and that's our signal for find the treat ball wherever you last left it. So it's got some treats in it. And now I'm just going to let Spider have a good old time with this while we, continue on with the show.
Awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and take that off and roll around the studio.
He's going to have some fun.
He sure is.
Well, as you know, Larry, on our podcast, we always have a curiosity each week, which is something that we really like to discuss. And today's curiosity is, what trick can you teach your dog to save its life, or can dog tricks save a dog's life?
Yeah.
And I know you have some good comments on that. So I'm going to let you take it away. What do you think? And then, of course, I want the audience to engage a little bit here too. Obviously, I threw up some of the comments from our channel. A lot of you guys signing in today from Minnesota. We got Brian Arney with us today, and the Pompeo families joined us from Sarasota. So good to see you guys. Charlotte's back again. Charlotte's been a regular fan of ours on our podcast. So thank you for watching us again today, Charlotte. Today is kind of an unscheduled programming. It was kind of thought we'd add a third podcast for the week. We normally do Sundays and Thursdays, 2:00 Pacific, 5:00 Eastern. But we just decided today we'd do a special episode and let Larry and Spider have a chance to shine on our podcast, because again, he's the one that inspired me to do this podcast to begin with. So I'm glad to finally get you on our podcast. So thanks for doing that today for us, Larry. So if anybody out there has any comments, send them to us right now, or have any questions for Larry or I, we'll be happy to answer them the best that we can. But thanks guys for joining us today. So I'm going to let Larry start talking about that, but you guys that are watching, think about what kind of tricks do you think you should train your dog to do, and how it can save their life. And we're going to see what Larry's thought is on it.
Yeah, well, I say the dog tricks save lives. You know, I work with homeless dogs to help them get adopted. As I was mentioning before, I combine trick training with obedience training, and also basic assessment for behavior. So dog tricks save lives, because the biggest reason that homeless dogs don't get adopted is a lack of training.
Right.
I love taking a problem and flipping it around. It's like the myth is that homeless dogs are somehow forever broken.
Right. Or they're all bad dogs. They're broken dogs. They're dogs that are there because, you know, they didn't do well in another home, and maybe they didn't, but that's because the person probably didn't spend any time with them.
And it happens
in training.
Oh yeah, I've made mistakes. We all make mistakes until we learn, you know. Right. And you know, so the myth is that, you know, that these dogs are somehow less than. And I love to flip it around. And it's like, well, what if inside of every dog is this undiscovered movie star? You know?
I love that saying.
You know, that future search and rescue dog.
That line's in the book. I'm 100% positive that line's in the book, and that's one of my favorites. I mean, really, I think every dog does have the potential to be a big star and be a movie star and be trained. Any dog can be trained. It doesn't matter the age, breed, or size. I'm 100% a believer.
And the best kind of stardom for the dog is a loving home.
Absolutely. Build that bond with them. Then the more time you spend with them, the more you connect. And the more they really start understanding what it is that you're trying to teach them to do, you know, and they pick up on it, you know, with repetition and time and patience.
Well, 3/4 of all actual movie dog stars were rescued.
It's awesome.
You know, a good friend of ours, Omar von Muller.
Yes.
So we certainly remember, you know, his late dogs, Jumpy and Uggy. Yeah. Very, very big stars.
All rescues.
Rescues.
I believe like Benji was a rescue back in the day, and you know, a lot of the big movie star dogs.
Back in the day, when Benji was a big movie and really inspiring families, especially families with kids, you know, to go to shelters. The shelter dog population spiked even more than it spiked in Dalmatians. When 101 Dalmatians came out, everybody wanted Dalmatians, until they learned it's maybe not a beginner dog for many families, you know. Right. But a shelter dog, you know, can definitely be a family's first dog.
That's awesome. And it should be. I just think you should always check there first. At least look. I mean, you might be looking for a specific breed or size of dog, but check those shelters. There's so many great dogs out there. And if you're looking for a purebred, you might even find one there in the shelter. In fact, statistics show that 40% of dogs and pounds in shelters are purebreds. So you might even find the exact breed. And if you're not finding or not connecting with one at the pound, look up some rescue groups in your area for the breeds that you're most interested in, and go see if they have any dogs up for adoption. I mean, they need homes, and you don't always have to get a dog as a puppy too. Would you agree for that? I mean, you can train a dog at any age.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, we broke that myth in our last podcast, you know, and we're constantly breaking that myth on a daily basis with our older dogs. You can always train older dogs, and absolutely. You can bond with them just the same when you adopt a dog. You don't have to get a puppy.
Your good friend from Australia, Bo Pearson,
yes,
disc dogs. He tells the wonderful story of his dog Millie Milkshake.
Yeah,
he, I think at age 7 or something, adopted Millie and started performing. I mean, and this dog was severely disabled, and he was able to bring this dog back to full ability, and even went to the Australian, if I'm not mistaken, like the Disc Dog Nationals or something, or something, or maybe Agility Nationals, in Australia. I don't know. He tells the story so well, Bo Pearson. Oh, Bo's going to be on Dog Hugs on Friday of this week. Yeah, we were just recording the interview because he's in Australia, and we're playing it back on
awesome. Yeah, they are very talented. They're a great team, and they have amazing dogs. So that's going to be a great episode. I'll be looking forward to that. And for those of you watching, you should go to Larry's page, like his page, join his other 2 million followers at Positively Woof. His podcast is called Dog Hugs, and you go at 12 o'clock, I believe, right? 12 o'clock Pacific.
Pacific time.
Yeah, noon Pacific. And yeah, you definitely want to like his page and sign in and watch that show. That'll be great. They got some really talented pups.
Yes, Spider
show. Hey, make sure you get him to do his United States U.S. accent. We want to hear his U.S. accent because we were goofing around in our last podcast trying to do our Australian accent. So we're planning to have him on the podcast too. I've been trying to work with him. I want to get him on. I want to try to get him on live. So we're just trying to figure out when is a good time to do that. So we might have to do a special episode that fits in with his schedule. So we'll try to work on it. So we got some other people commenting. Trick training is a great enrichment, and enrichment is super important in every dog's life. It reduces a lot of problem behaviors, improves the dog's welfare, and amen to that. That is absolutely true.
Keyword enrichment.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Lenka, first German Shepherd came from a shelter. It was love at first sight. Love to hear stories like that. And if you got some photos, send them to us. We'll be happy to share them on our channel. Be awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today, Larry, out of your busy schedule to
really such a pleasure.
To step away from the tacos. As you got your taco shirt on. Today's Cinco de Mayo. So thanks for taking the time. And
you're welcome. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Dog Hugs. Again, go to Positively Woof, you guys. I'm going to throw that link up one more time just in case you missed it. Follow Larry at Facebook at Positively Woof. He's got over 2 million Facebook fans. Join his daily Dog Hugs podcast at noon Pacific. So make sure you tune in, say hi to Larry, and be involved. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you. Our next podcast will be Thursday at 2 o'clock Pacific. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.